It's the worst flooding to hit the Red River Valley in modern history. And the President of the United States is about to view the incredible devastation for himself. Good evening. Paul Majors has the night off. President Clinton will arrive in Grand Forks, North Dakota just before noon tomorrow.
By air and by boat, he will witness damage and destruction beyond comprehension. Tonight, Grand Forks is under a 95% mandatory evacuation order. Once you're out, there's no going back. Temporary shelters are holding thousands of flood refugees who could be out of their homes for weeks. Many left behind pets, and now authorities are desperately trying to rescue all the stranded animals. KARE 11's Brad Woodard begins our team report tonight live in Grand Forks. Brad?
Well, Rick, being in Grand Forks tonight in some ways is like being in a third world country. There is very little electricity. There's no running water for drinking, bathing, or flushing the toilet. And yet all through Grand Forks it seems there's nothing but water, contaminated water filled with sewage. Now, authorities here believe that the river, in fact, crested today at 54 feet, just under 54 feet, in fact. That's 26 feet above flood stage. And these conditions, however, are expected to linger possibly for weeks, and damages to the area are estimated to be in the hundreds of millions of dollars.
The fire that ravaged an entire city block continues to smolder 2 days after the fact. And in the heart of the Red River Valley, Grand Forks, North Dakota, seems more like a war-torn version of Venice.
I don't think anyone can even understand the magnitude of this unless they come and see it. To go through our city is just very disheartening. So what day is it today? Oh, it's Monday today.
Her own home underwater, Mayor Pat Owens has ordered 90 to 95% of Grand Forks residents to evacuate. The entire city under martial law. Residents have been forbidden from returning to their homes until the water recedes, probably another couple of weeks from now.
That water is so cold. If you even attempt to walk in it, to go to your home, you will get hypothermia, and it can kill you in a very short period of time. So we don't want people to put their lives on the line.
Water here is expected to remain at or near crest levels for several days. Despite man's elaborate precautions, there's no bluffing against the kind of hand nature deals only once or twice a millennium.
We were working off certain predictions, and I don't know how you could possibly have predicted the water that came.
Governors Ed Schaefer and Arnie Carlson have joined forces to assess the damage left in the wake of the flood and what the neighboring states must do to recover.
When you look at the damage at Grand Forks and what we've looked at so far on our side, I think it's safe to say both states are going to be in excess of $100 million.
Our resources are stretched thin, our people are emotionally distraught, and there's no doubt in my mind that this is the worst disaster that North Dakota's faced in its history.
Now, Governors Carlson and Schaefer are going to ask President Clinton, when he comes to tour the area tomorrow, for a 90-10 split. That means the federal government would pick up 90% of the federal disaster relief, and the states would pick up the other 10%. Also, the two governors have formed a special task force. You got to keep in mind that we're talking about 50,000 people here in a town that's completely immobilized. Businesses aren't operating. That means the businesses have no revenue, the people have no incomes, and one of the big things once the water finally recedes is going to be to get those businesses up and running so people can get back to work. Also, we have the word officially tonight here in Grand Forks that this is a 500-year flood. Truly, truly unbelievable.
Amazing, just amazing.
It is.
Thanks, Brad. Well, Boyd Hooper continues a team report with some amazing, if you can call it that, animal rescues and reunions.
Dinah, we bought this boat several weeks ago because we thought that it would help us with our flood coverage. But we did not expect that our boat would become a rescue raft. But that's exactly what happened today when we encountered some very special rescuers in need of a lift. In every flood, there are victims.
They're really scared. They don't know if anybody's coming back for them.
But none more vulnerable than those about to be visited by Raquel Aloisi.
We've got 8 cats to rescue right now.
Raquel and her colleagues are with the Emergency Animal Rescue Service.
Basically, we're the Red Cross for the animals.
Hundreds of animals left behind by owners, given mere minutes to get out of their homes. The first stop does not go well.
See if you can sense if it's a dead bull.
The owner has left no keys.
Barely rock.
And the second-story balcony is too high to climb.
We've got keys for the next one. We're just going to contact him and tell him to bring us keys.
But a few blocks away, 2 more cats are waiting. They are also hiding. Not uncommon for cats.
They're in here somewhere.
Somewhere he's under a bed.
What you doing? Bring the evac sack. Okay. Oh, it's okay. On me?
You did it.
This is Terry Crisp from United Animal Nations. I just wanted to let you know we got your cats.
It is the moment that makes their watery journey worthwhile.
First 2 of the operation.
The kids will be happy, that's for sure.
Brad, you saw it today as well. People were lined up all day long at the Humane Society wanting to take advantage of that rescue service. This is not a quick process, however, and rescue workers tell us it could take days to get out all the animals.
That's something that seems to have been very important to the flood victims, making sure that their pets are safe. It's a way to maintain some sense of normalcy throughout all of this bizarre routine that has become their lives. One of the interesting things about this, and I've heard it described as a slow-motion disaster, and when you're talking about hurricanes and tornadoes, we're talking about things that happen in a matter of hours and minutes, and this is literally going to linger for weeks, possibly months.
Absolutely. And that's it from now. We're going to send it back to you, Paul.
Now, are those animals being kept in separate shelters, or are they being returned to the owners right now?
Well, some are going back to the owners. Some owners are living with relatives and friends. No problem there. There's actually a special animal area that has been set up out at the Air Force Base where a couple of thousand evacuees are being housed. They're not staying in the hangars themselves, but the owners can go and see the animals, can take them for walks at any time.
Okay, one more question. What are people doing to buy food or clothing? Is it totally dependent upon the state right now, or can they have access to banks, or what's going on?
Well, that's a good question, because we've been trying to find some food to eat here. We kind of stocked up on the way up here, but the closer you get to Grand Forks, the more difficult it is to find things. Something as simple as a loaf of bread. I looked around several places yesterday, and they'd all sold out. And I think a lot of people are relying on relatives, and those who have left the area, and those who are staying at the shelters obviously are being provided for by the government at this point.
Okay. All right, guys, we'll check with you later. Thanks.